Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about adding colour to our prompt for June for our Botanical Beauties. Good morning Fudge, how are you? Hello. Fudgy's around. I just get very nervous when Fudge is around and I'm painting. I wish he'd crawl back into his bed, have a little nap. So anyway, as I was saying, today it's about adding colour to our fuchsia, so that I can then start stitching. So I've got my water, I've got my gouache paint set. Let's have a little look. I did Google fuchsias, and very much so name by colour, fuchsia in every shade, right through to purples and even white, a little bit of orange peeking into areas of the fuchsia, like where buds meet petals, things like that. So yeah, I think we're pretty much going to do the pink and the actual purples, like that one there in its dried state looks really good to me. Let's have a look at the Inktense pencils first before I commit too much. Oh, look at that one, called fuchsia. Gosh, violet there I think's way too much. But I don't know. Oh well, we'll see how we go. We'll have a little smear of some paint, I think, and see what comes of it, because you just sort of, you don't know until you really get going. And I'm thinking the purple might be the challenge, but you know, let's see. I think I'm going to start with this fuchsia in this paint set. So this is gouache paints that I found online, really inexpensive. So I could even do two fuchsias, like this dark. No, I want distinct colour differences, I think. Yes, Fudgy. And the fuchsia is going to be, oh, the pink fuchsia. When I say fuchsia, you're thinking plant, but in my head now, it's the colour. Fudgy, you're not going to jump up here. Oh, so I'm making it quite dense. Now I do want to, oh, there's a pussycat's just joined the party. Seriously, what could possibly go wrong? Have faith in me, he just said. I won't knock over paint, Mum. Yeah, right. So let's just slush a bit of fuchsia around for a start. My bracelet is banging on that glass. You know when there's those random sounds you hear on videos, and once you focus on them, that's all you hear? That bracelet would be one. Fudgy. Fudgy. So what's your story, Fudge? Oh, he's now moved to the chair. I put a folded up quilt on a chair, and he hasn't taken to sitting on it yet, but it's sort of his jumping pad to the table and then off again. But the last few times he sat quietly on it, so I'm hoping that going forward, being that we share the craft room, the previous house he was in the garage, and the sitting room or the lounge room was right near that, our bedroom was right near that, so we were all sort of in that zone. The kitchen was right near that, so we were sort of all close together, and that's became his base camp in the garage, and from there he could access outside during the day, and then we'd close him in of an evening and he was, you know, tucked into bed. But this house, the garage is to the front and we're all down the back. We sleep at the front, but the living spaces are all to the back and the side. So I sort of felt like Fudge was a long way away from me. So in this house, I've actually set him up with his bunk and his breakfast. That one there, I've just realised, doesn't have the little nodule at the top. Does that matter? I've only just noticed it. Doesn't matter. Artistic license. You guys probably all noticed it last week when I was drawing it. So yeah, Fudgy's base camp is in my room with me. He's got his cat stand, his breakfast area, which is, you know, an old, what was that noise? An old placemat with his bowl and his water. And then he's got his Fudgy. He's got his toilet, unfortunately, in here with me, but I found online a really cool little cabinet. So it looks like a piece of furniture, but he sneaks in the back door, has privacy to do his business, and then I can come in and tidy up behind him. And it's working really well. And we found some kitty litter that is based on corn, and it's got a beautiful scent about it. So my sense of smell is not strong. It's pretty ordinary, actually. So I've had to rely on others. As soon as they walk into the space, the first thing I say to anyone who comes to visit, now, can you smell Fudge's toilet? And no one can, and no one's realised that it's disguised in this piece of furniture. So I'm thinking I'm quite clever. Fudge loves it. He climbs in there and has privacy. Cat's got to have privacy to do what a cat needs to do. All of these are slightly different. That one doesn't have the second nodule. This one has two. That doesn't have any. Oh my goodness. Doesn't matter, does it? I want to bring a little bit of orange into those too. But we'll need to let that paint dry. So I might just get a little bit down on these little guys. They are all pink. There's no purple at all on those. I'll have to find my brightest, pinkest cottons. There's a little bit of pink in there. Really like these gouache paints. Like, I know all the trend is Inktense pencils, but I must say, for very inexpensive paints, gouache paints are solid, they're bright, and from memory, like, don't quote me on it, I'm sure they were like $11 or something. Those Inktense pencils, they are expensive. Gee, that looks so dark on the screen. It's not. It's really bright and vibrant, so it doesn't look as bad as what you're probably thinking. Now I just want to bring a little bit of orange in, which I'm thinking is number 2, that guy. Yeah, just to blend blend into that pink. I think it'll sort of help blend it then to the green, and it's all to do with these top bits. Just a little bit. Probably should wait until it dries, but you know, bullet a gate. Won't matter that they're all slightly different. I don't think. It's only you and I that have realised that I haven't quite sketched them. Now that orange should then blend with the green. Now what am I going to use for a green? I'm thinking that army green actually. It's really dark. Let me just move that so you can see. Ooh, it's very dark. That's okay. Yep, I like that. Something a bit different. The other colours have been very forest green. So I was like, oh, I must find another green. And this one, oh, that's a bud. Oops. What's pink and green make when you mix it together? Can't imagine a very nice colour. About to find out. Gone quiet, concentrating. I've just gone back to bed. At least you didn't jump up and destroy my painting. Just sort of dragging a little bit of green through that stem, trying to lightly go. We must too go over to where I'd stitched that cluster of pre-printed flowers over where the poppy is and put a little bit of green in around the work there, just to tie it into what we did on the very early stages of this videos, you know, right back at the beginning. There we go. Now, can we get that bud? Oh, do we risk it? Oh, I think it'll ruin it. I think it has to be a leaf. I've got enough buds. That has to be a leaf. If I put pink over that, I think I'll have all sorts of trouble. What are you guys? Oh gosh, I wish you guys were sitting here beside me. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to have a play with this violet. It is way too dark for me, but I do want an interesting type of purple. And I'm wondering what would happen if I mix this in with it. Will it change it? Yeah, that's a bit better. Then I can sort of drift between the two, go lighter and darker. Oh, you guys can't even see. I'm mixing these two here, which are those two. So I might start with a little bit of the violet in there. Try and show a little bit of darkness. Whether that's what's going to come of all this, who knows? But anyway, then I'll go to this mixed colour Just feather that down. Is there much difference? Not really. So I might just use that half the way. Then come back in with this colour. That's good. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. So far, so good, guys. Oh, nerve-wracking. Don't start clanging on things. All right, concentrate, girl. So we're coming in dark. Where the shadows would be. Then our slightly less, ever so slightly, mind you, that violet has just really taken over the whole colour, but that's all good as long as there's a subtle. Then we'll bring in this guy from the bottom back up, just to show that we have put some thought into these purple petals. Oh my goodness. Michelangelo, if you could only see me. It's probably more Picasso than Michelangelo. Okay, yep, I like it. Yay. All right, got to do it again. Okay, start with the dark. You notice I have to talk it through to keep it straight in my mind, and the moment I get sidetracked, something goes pear-shaped like that. Doesn't matter. I think I mentioned in the last video, the more I draw, the more I got to stitch. So, you know, settle down, girl. Okay, now into the blended one. Settle down, getting a bit smeary. And then down into this guy, starting from the bottom, working back up. Gosh, I hope I'm in camera. Yep. This is like hanging on by the seat of your pants, isn't it? This type of painting. Especially when you can hear the thoughts going through my mind and the sheer anticipation of disasters. It's all good. Anything we don't like, we can stitch. Oh, yeah, we could stitch over that. There you go. I really feel like we need a little bit of pink up there just to, I don't know, build the story a little bit. Sort of feels like everything's clustered to that end. Oh, I'd love to put pink in there, but no, there's no pink in those. I feel like I could be a bit braver on this one. That's really good. That's blended really well. Let's drop a little bit of that indigo. Yeah, that's better. Just shows that changing of colour. Yep. Ho, ho, ho. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Something will go wrong. No, I think we're on the home straight now. I think we've got colour placement sorted. Now that mixed one, just to feather it down a little bit. I went to the hardware store in Australia, they're called Bunnings, and I was looking at fuchsias. I was so tempted to buy a plant and see if I can get it to grow, but I don't have anywhere to hang it. Haven't got to the stage of hanging pots, and the patio that I do have, my gosh, it's like cyclonic winds whipping through from the ocean, which is about 1 kilometre away, but boy, we get some wind. And I think they need, like, reading up on them, they need a bit of a warm environment, that warm morning sun, and I don't have that. I have roaring wind. So I just don't think they would be happy. So I left him, but I was admiring them. And even when I was looking at colours of fuchsias that are out there, I'm going to attempt to cover that with this pink. I might go really strong and mix straight into this. I even got into paint sample cards, and being fuchsia is a classic colour name, there was one website I come across which was the colours of fuchsia, and there was probably 30 different tones of fuchsia. That's not too bad. It's a little dark because it's got that green. So what we might do is we'll darken these guys up. Come over the top of what we've done a little. Yeah, that's good. That's getting that real pink. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. Gouache is such a solid paint. It's really gives you depth. Really been fun, this project. I won't be doing any projects like an animal a month. We don't want to be testing our sketching abilities to that degree. Oh my goodness, could you imagine how hard that'd be? Flowers are very giving. You can get away with a little bit with flowers. Once you get some of the rough shapes in, you're sort of home and hose. But it doesn't look like an elephant. It ain't an elephant. I don't care what people say, it ain't an elephant. Let's just give this a little bit of a clean up. Then I might come back through with another green, or I sort of feel like I need to connect the orange a little bit more with a green. Let's just give that a clean up before it smears everywhere. What's in the... maybe leaf green. I might actually do that, mix up some leaf green, because I could use that with that other area. Where is he? Leaf green, yeah. And I think we might just do the old wet the pencil and then come back through with the colour tone. Yeah, just felt like I needed to knock the orange back a little bit. They're very similar tones, those greens. That's good. A little bit of blending. I don't think I'll be stitching down into there, so that's good. That feels like they connect and they're not distinct colours. Okay, very good. So let's hop this to one side. Now I just want to jiggle my piece around. If we can just get to... So the fuchsias are ready for stitching. Excellent. I just want to get in here and put a little bit of shading. Which green will we use? I sort of don't mind that dark one, but I think it's too dark. Where's that leaf green? I hope you can see. My phone is showing low battery, so I now cannot see where my hands are. So I'm just going to assume that you're with me. If you're not, I do apologise. Just want to put a smear of, just to ground that, because the future prompts are coming out of this embroidery that was pre-printed, as if they're growing out of this zone. So I just want to anchor it with a little bit of green. There we go. I was going to do that a couple videos ago, but I didn't want to get the paints out. I thought, oh, I'll do it when we do this pigment painting. Yeah, that's good. It's just a little something. I guess while we're at it, why don't we whip around again and do it to some of the others. See, we've got green paint happening. Might as well make a complete mess. Okay. You probably can't see what I'm doing with that pen. Pencil. Just want a little bit. We just want it to seep and blend. Future ground. Probably out of shot now. I'd have to stop the camera charge and then come back, and I don't want to do that. So bear with me, guys. So I just put a little bit of colour. When we do some more painting through here and there, it's all stitched, I can always come back and add more. Just use this last little bit up on this set. Gosh, that's green. Look at the colours the lady has chosen. I don't even think I own threads those colours. They're so neon. Oh. I've tried not to unpick her work so that it's part of my work, but that might be pushing the cause. Well, I think that's pretty much it. The only thing I might do is just make these bleed a little bit more, just so the paint travels that little bit further. Excellent. All right. How do I end up in such a mess so quickly? This little guy to go back. Oh, that's the gouache paints. That there. If you're interested, there certainly are very economical. So if you're looking for, you know, something to play with, I should leave that out because that nib on that pencil needs to, the tip needs to dry. So let's just put that there. Get my cloth. Okay, I think we're done. I need to let this dry now, and next week we'll come back and make our paint selections. Oh, not paint selections, our thread selections. Surely I have some purples that will suit. Hope so. And I can start stitching into these guys. Love it. All right, guys. You guys have a lovely day, and I will catch you all next Monday when we do some stitching. Otherwise, see you tomorrow in the next video. Bye.